this thing.
Come
All
on.
right.
No.
Listen. Okay. So 3 bullet points. Spending baggage, right? So
Spending baggage,
basically,
number one.
spending baggage, number one. People have over improved their house with things that no one in the market wants.
Like what?
A cover for your hot water heater.
Hey, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so what I'm understanding is these are things that serve you while you're living in the house.
Absolutely.
Maybe reduce costs, whatever.
That nobody else wants.
That you replaced all of the pipes, for example, in the slab.
Yeah,
For example,
I've done that.
I know a guy who that happened to. He had to do it. Does the market care or value that higher?
No, because they expect that your pipes are going to work. They expect that your hot water heater is not going to need a cover on it. And, these are things that you spend money on that you're not going to get your value back.
And so it's pricing based on your improvements for your luxury of living in the house.
Yeah.
That don't necessarily translate into dollar for dollar but better than dollar for dollar investment when you go to sell.
So you want to improve your house, improve your kitchen, improve your master bath, improve your flooring, improve all your other bathrooms, right? Do something,
landscape outside,
landscaping wise, that kind of thing. So, So second thing, short-term memory. Clients have short-term memories about when they bought their house, right? And I always ask people, like, what were the objections to your home that we're in right now when you bought it? I think it's good to think about that, right? Because what we're going to actually encounter, are buyers who are probably going to have the same objections that you had when you bought the house, unless you've made those go away, right? And so short-term memory sort of really it harms the transaction in a way, right? Because everyone thinks that their house is really great, right? Like that's a really neat thing to be able to think about. Like my house is, I've lived here.
You love your house. You live there. You've invested into it. It's where you have family memories. Great. That doesn't necessarily, what I'm hearing is that doesn't necessarily translate into extra dollars. Don't forget the things that you've had to overcome in living in this house.
100%. And that can mean anything. It can mean a bathroom. It could mean, the lot that you have, the size of the lot, the slope of the lot, whether or not, you have a, second bathroom, upstairs kind of idea. So
I bought a house that has a mansard roof. It looks like a barn, right? Dutch colonial. Not everybody likes that.
Yeah,
we live with it because it's got a lot of other things, but and it's great. And we got slate on it, but there's folks that don't have the slate and it doesn't look nearly as nice. I think so. That would be an objection that we know the market might have, but we've learned to live with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think what it goes to is when you're buying, understand the things that might be objections when you sell as you're buying as well. Don't forget that these same objections are going to be someone else's objections eventually as well. And that's hard to remember when you're buying in highly competitive markets as well. You're just glad you got into a house. And so that's a hard one to remember. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Third
thing, you're on a journey when you're selling a property, right? And I think sellers have a misconception sometimes about what the market's really doing, right? And whether that's good or bad. Sellers could say the market's really hot, I'm going to get 20 offers, or the market's not so great, I might not sell my house as quick. In both cases, you might have the opposite happen, right? In a really hot market, it might take you a little longer because there might be objections. In the same thing in the opposite way, right? So understanding that you're on a journey, and so like we say this all the time, you never know until you're market tested what's actually going to be the result of your sale, right? So you want to prepare your best, you want to look your best, right? You want to price your best so that you can attract everybody to be able to come in and see the house. I mean, those are the things, right? So you just want to, you are on a journey. You want to minimize that journey as much as you can, because days on market, as we all know, they're a killer in real estate, right?
Well, and it's that iteration. So often people go, well, let's give it another weekend. The problem is those weekends start to accumulate. Your days on market really starts to hurt your image in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And versus seeing what the market is actually giving you without emotion and then reacting to the market. And we're starting to see this across different markets here in DC metro area, where days on market is actually starting to go up, where absorption rate is starting to come down.
Yeah.
Right. Which we have not seen in 3 years in many places, maybe more. And so we're starting to see some of that shift. And that also means that people are starting to linger on the market longer and not being realistic about what the market's actually telling them about their house. And it's an iterative process, just like all things